Alright guys, Rich here from the RCNetwork, and this is going to be an unboxing of the Airtronics MT-4 Telemetry system. This is both their radio and receiver in one box with a couple little extras to get your telemetry readings. Now at the RCNetwork, I definitely use lots of different radios, most of them being RTR radios for lots of the reviews that I do, but I do have one standalone radio that is kind of my go-to radio, and it is the Spectrum DX3R Pro. Now, I did not go straight from an RTR to the DX3R Pro. I had a little pit stop and the DX2S, which is also a telemetry radio, but that has since went on to a new owner, and I did pick up this DX3R Pro. Now, I probably don't use half of the different settings and technology that's built into this radio, so I kind of wanted to have another radio that I can also have either friends use or other people use here at the RCNetwork to capture footage, and I went to the MT-4 here. So definitely not the M12 or the M11X with all of the racing bells and whistles, but this is just going to be a great standalone radio that has some good features and definitely have that great upgrade from an RTR radio. So it is a 2.4 gigahertz radio and definitely has industry leading latency. That's their official word for basically how fast the radio feels when you turn the steering wheel or press the throttle and get the response out on the track or the bash spot that you may be in. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the box here. A very kind of flimsy box, and I'm definitely a box guy, but not too impressed with this particular box. You know, it has some good graphics right here, but on all the other sides, basically nothing. Here's a quick model number for you guys. You can pretty much find it as MT4, but they are calling it the MT-4 PC is their model number for it. Let's take a look at the back side. You have absolutely nothing. And let's open this thing up. Inside, immediately getting some styrofoam packaging. I'm going to go ahead and slide this thing out. Now, I have already opened this, and I will tell you guys why here in just a couple seconds. The package felt very light when I received it, and it was actually missing all of the literature on here. But since getting in contact with Airtronics, they're actually mailing all of the information out to me, so should have that here in just a couple days. They're pretty local, so probably 1 or 2 day pit stop in the mail. So initially, you're seeing the wheel kind of peeking out there. Really dig their wheel and just their setup on their radio. But let's take a look inside here. Inside, it looks like you get lots of different items just kind of laying inside the package here. Of course, the MT-4 there right in the center. You do have a little switch in here for probably a nitro application, a little 4 battery pack here. I'm not sure exactly what that's for. I can check in the owner's manual here in a couple of days. Inside here, you do get a couple of items. You get the larger grip, which I will probably install on this radio. It feels just a little smallish in my hand. And then you do get the temp sensor, also the RPM sensor, and then you get a couple of sticks of, looks like servo tape, and also a couple of screws here for adjusting the trigger, along with another little package here that has some blocks and whatnot also for the trigger adjustment. You can, I believe, adjust the strength of the trigger and also the throw of the trigger. So pretty nice feature here on the MT-4. The receiver here is going to be the RX461. This is their telemetry receiver. It has 4 ports on it, and pretty much on the side here it lists all the ports. You have aux2, aux1 for both the temp and the RPM, and then you also have throttle and steering. You do have a little bind little button right there, so no bind plug is required, an LED here, and a somewhat longish antenna, about 8 inches, with the most important part being that last little bit right there. So keep that in mind when you're routing your antenna. Let's go ahead and pull out the radio here. This is kind of the star of the show. And I went to RCX just recently and was checking this thing out, and I really got to say that I like the feel of this radio. It is very small and compact for what you're getting in the technology here. The wheel, I've got to say, has the best feel of any wheel on the market. I mean, it just feels very substantial. The grip on it is awesome. It's not moving around like the Spectrum ones that I've seen in the past. Another cool feature of this thing, this cool antenna right here, which is kind of wrap around, kind of a handle design here, which is really cool. So nothing to break off or bend the wrong way and that type of stuff. You do get that huge screen on here, which is very, very nice. Lots of buttons and switches. Let's go ahead and go through that really quick. You do have your on-off switch right here. You do have SW1, SW2. You have a lever control. You have trims 4, 2, 1, and 3. And then, of course, the wheel right there. Flip side under here, you do have the trigger, and you have lots of different adjustments here for both throw and the strength of the trigger or the spring tension of it. Right here you do have a dial, which I believe is for your dual rate, and then you have a back cancel, an LED 1, 2, and also a scroll wheel right here to get through some of the menus. So pretty cool radio. The radio feels just a little bit small in my hand, so I'm probably going to go ahead and put it on that thicker grip just to give it a more substantial feel, at least for my particular situation. This does not come with a drop-down wheel, which I am somewhat used to, so I may source that out from a new friend I made at Grid RC. Underside right here, you do get a spot for batteries. I've already installed 4 AA batteries, but you do have an option to go ahead and put a LiPo pack in just by using a receiver plug, so that just kind of hooks straight into there. Now, once you turn this thing on, I have not used it yet, but installed the batteries here for you guys. Get kind of a little warning sound there. You got a couple of LEDs here up in the top, and then you get the screen here. Now, this is not a backlit screen, so if you happen to be using this at night or want additional readability, this does not have it. The M12 would, but this is not going to be a factor for me here at the RC Network. So, but all in all, very nice radio. Can't wait to kind of get this thing going on a new project and kind of show you guys how this thing runs. Now, just to give you a comparison between that and the DX3R Pro, because that's what I happen to have on hand here, there you go. So very similar in size. The MT-4 is definitely smaller and more compact, and definitely with the Spectrum's huge drop down, the MT-4 is just somewhat dwarfed there. On the sides here, you can kind of see MT-4 is definitely a lot smaller or narrower than the DX3R Pro. And then on the onset there, let's see, there we go. So kind of what I was talking about, the antenna, you have the DX3R Pro here, which is a flip down antenna, but if you happen to bend it the wrong way, you might be in trouble. So definitely like that feature on the MT-4, and that's it. Well, guys, if you have any questions about the MT-4 here or the RC Network, please post it on down below. And as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now, guys. Over and out.